talking about the top 30 catchers this season, and we're going to start off by Rene Pinto. And I think he's going to be below average because his batting average is .214 with 6 RBIs, 2 home runs. I think he can have a better performance than that, so that's why we're going to put him below average. And next up, we're going to be going with Austin Wells, and I think he's going to be going below average too because he has a .216 batting average, 20 RBIs, 6 home runs. I think he can do better than that. And then we're going to be doing Adley Rutschman, and I think he's going to be a superstar because he has a .275 batting average, 16 home runs, 59 RBIs. I think that's very good for that starting catcher. And then we're going to be doing Alejandro Kirk. And I think he's going to be below average because I think he has a 134 batting average and a 24 RBIs with 2 home runs, and I think he has a way better performance than that. And so we're going to be doing with the Red Sox, Connor Wong, and I think he's going to be above average because I think he's going to be above average, and that I think he's above average because he has a .307 batting average, 32 RBIs, 8 home runs. I think that's good for that catcher. We're going to be going back with the Guardians. It's Bo Naylor. I don't think I think he should be below average because Bo Naylor has a .205 batting average, 4 RBIs, and 6 home runs. That is really not good for that what he does. And so next we're gonna be doing Jake Rogers, and Jake is gonna be below average because Jake has a .203 batting average, 16 RBIs, and I don't think that's really good, and 6 home runs. That is bad performance by Jake Rogers. And next we're gonna have Martin Maldonado, and I think he's gonna be below average because he's not having a good season. He only has 119 batting average, 11 RBIs, and 4 home runs. I don't think that's really good for a catcher, so that's why I put him below average. And next, we're going to do Salvador Perez. And I think he's going to be a superstar because he has a .282 batting average, 62 RBIs, 17 home runs, and I think that's good for Salvi Perez. And next, we're going with Christian Vasquez, and I think he's going to be below average, and we're going to put him below average. There's a lot of people below average, but he has a 196 batting average, 16 RBIs, and 4 home runs. I think that's really bad for Christian Vasquez, and that's why I put him below average. Okay, guys, next up, we're going to go with Shea sorry guys, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but anyways, he's going to be above average there. And I think he's above average because he has a .213 batting average, 50 RBIs, and 17 home runs. I think that's good for a catcher. So next we're going to have Yainer Diaz, and I think he's going to be above average too. And I'm going to be putting him above average because he has .284 batting average, 49 RBIs, and 7 home runs. I think that's above average for a catcher, so I think that's going to be above average. And next, we're going to be doing Jonah Heim, and I think he's going to be average because he has a .241 batting average, and I think that's average, and 36 RBIs and 8 home runs, and I think that deserves the average. And so next up, we're going to have Logan O'Hoppe, and I think he's going to be above average because he has .276 batting average, and I think that's really good, and 42 RBIs, 14 home runs. I think that's good for the catcher. And next up, we're going to have Cal Raleigh, and he is going to be above average. I think that because Cal, he has a 216 batting average, 61 RBIs, and 20 home runs. I think that's really good, so that's why I put him above average. He has really good stats, and I think that's deserves above average. Next up is going to be Keibert Ruiz, and I think he is going to be average because he has a 220 batting average, 28 RBIs, and that's 6 home runs. I think that's pretty average for Keibert Ruiz. And next up, I think is going to be JT Realmuto, and I think he's going to be average because JT has a 261 batting average, 20 RBIs, and 6 home runs. And I think that's pretty average too for JT. And next up, we're going to have Sean Murphy, and he is going to be average as well. And I think he's going to be average because he has a 211 batting average, 12 RBIs, and 5 home runs. But I think his batting average is up there, and I think he's going to be average for the Braves. And next up is going to be Nick Fortes, and I think he's going to be below average because he has a 185 batting average, 15 RBIs, 2 home runs. I think that is terrible. And so next up we have Francisco Alvarez, and I think he's going to be above average because he only played 44 games this year, a little bit of games. He's at 296 batting average and 23 RBIs with 4 home runs. I think that's good for 44 played games by Francisco Alvarez. Tyler Stevenson, and I think he is average. I'm going to put him in average because I think he is not really doing that well, and he dropped down a lot, and he has a 245 batting average, 34 RBIs, and 10 home runs, and I think he dropped a lot in this year. And next up, it's going to be Jan Gomes, and I think he's going to be average too because he has a 154 batting average, 7 RBIs, 2 home runs, and I think that's pretty average for that catcher. And next up is going to be Henry Davis, and I think he's going to be below average, and because he's below average, he has a 153 batting average, 5 RBIs, and 1 home run. I don't think that's really good. I think that's really bad. And so next up is William Contreras, and I think he's going to be an all-star, first all-star of the day. And I think he's going to be an all-star because William Contreras has a 286 batting average, 55 RBIs, and 11 home runs. I think that's pretty good, and that's why I put him all-star. And next up is Wilson Contreras, and I think he's an all-star as well. And there's 2 all-stars of the day, and I think he's an all-star because he has a 271 batting average, 24 RBIs, with 10 home runs, and I think that's pretty good for the catcher right now. Next up is Gabriel Romero, and I think he's going to be below average because he has a 243 batting average, 31 home runs, and 31 RBIs, and 4 home runs. And I don't think that's really good, so that's below average. And next up is going to be Patrick Bailey, and I think he's going to be above average because I think he's good this season because he has a 283 batting average, pretty good, 31 RBIs, and 7 home runs. I think that's pretty good for Patrick. And next up is going to be Will Smith. And Will Smith, I think he's going to be an all-star because his stats is pretty good with a 272 batting average, pretty good, 55 RBIs, and 15 home runs, and that's pretty good for Will Smith. And next up is going to be Elise C. Sorry guys, I don't know I can't pronounce his last name right, but I think he's going to be below average, and I think he's below average because he has not shown a big performance so well. 236 batting average, not that good. 33 RBIs, not really that good. And 6 home runs, not really that good. And that's why I put him below average, not that good. And Elias Diaz, I think he's average. I think he's doing pretty well this year with a 286 batting average, 30 RBIs, and 5 home runs. And we put him there for his average. So that's why it says average. And see you guys next video. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that video. And 15 more likes to see top 30 first basemen's next video.